and this screen. So 3, 2, 1, go. So, in this game mode, let's just talk about how Meta Knight moves around first. Meta Knight moves faster than Kirby. He has a permanent sword and wing ability, as well as a dozen different special moves that we're all going to be using throughout this run. Most notably, right here, we're going to use dash attack and shuttle loops. You'll be seeing those quite a bit. And we're just going to proceed to the left here. I mean, the right. And do a shuttle loop right here. Activate a power. We'll explain that in a bit. But now we have the warp star, and we're going to go over what we've just done for a little bit. So we have enemies that are giving us these little blue orbs that are called points. On the bottom screen here, you can see we have about 17, and we also have 4 powers that we can use with that. Galaxia's Darkness, Meta Nightmares, Meta Quick, and Healing. There's also an in-game timer, which we'll be explaining a little bit later as well.
So here we use Meta Quick, and as the name suggests, we move about twice as fast, and it's very important throughout the run that we use it as much as possible.
Wild D here is going to throw us 8 points, which we will use immediately on another Meta Quick. And we'll be off to the first mid-boss of this game. And we're going to skip a cutscene, and it's Clanky Woods. And we're going to start with a dive, and then 5 shuttle loops, take damage, and 5 more shuttle loops. We're just canceling them out by hitting the corner there. That will allow us to do those really fast. And we can walk to the left after that's done.
I've noticed, well, if you take Clanky Woods quickly, the auto-scroller on the boss actually completely stops. That's why I do it as fast as possible there to move through as fast as possible.
Right there, in Kirby's mode, he would be collecting code cubes in order to proceed to the next levels, but Meta Knight gets points instead. Code cubes are replaced by 8-point groups, and 5-point groups replace rare stickers. There are multiple ways to get points from enemies in this game. You get 1 from small enemies, 2 from ability enemies, and 3 from larger enemies that you defeat, as well as points on the field in groups of 1, 5, and 8 at various sections. And we're just going to tear through this. Robobot armor does not appear in Meta Knight's mode. Meta Knight's sword is the answer to all puzzles. It can light switches, make electricity, and turn fire to ice. I have no idea what that sword made out of, but I kind of want it. Anyway, we got a little puzzle section here. We have to carry a battery over to the train. And movement optimizations. You can slide off ledges in order to do shuttle loops a little bit faster. Those bullets will actually hit into the background. This game kind of works on like a 2.5D scheme, which interactive objects in the background do affect the foreground.
It's actually a really big thing in both Robobot and Triple Deluxe.
And we're just going to keep shuttle looping over here. And I didn't get the points from that enemy, even though it was defeated. Sometimes that happens where you go through the door too fast. And it depends on like the type of attack you finish him off with. But then we're going to proceed. And I'm activating Meta Quick right there. You can't really spam Meta Quick. You have to wait for 10-second intervals or so for it to wear off. Every time we use Meta Quick in this route, it's kind of planned out beforehand. And it's a balance of getting points from enemies and going fast. And we have a first save room of the game. This freezes the in-game timer and allows us to refill our health. If you ever quit the game, you're actually going to lose all your points here, and that's not desired because, well, you need those to go fast. So this game encourages single-segment running. In-game timer is a pretty important part of this run, too. Our leaderboard mainly accepts that on speedrun.com because it's most accurate across different platforms, like 3DS and new 3DS.
Yeah, the 3DS tends to lag a lot during Planet Robobot, but on the new 3DS there is no lag, so you have an advantage in RTA, but in in-game time that's all gone.
And now we have our first puzzle section here, and we're going to go ahead and fail this automatically. You only get 8 points for clearing one, and it's really not worth your time, at least with Meta Knight here. These grates you can climb on, but it's really slow to do that, so we'll just shuttle loop past them. And now we're coming up on Invincibility Candy. And this does not stack with Meta Quick, unfortunately. I get questions about that all the time. You can't go to quadruple speed. I wish. And Waddle Dee, we're just going to skip here, too. We don't need those points. We have everything planned out before. And now we have another mid-boss with a health bar this time, and there it goes.
I'll miss him.
Sliding is also a pretty decent way to move around. And we're just going to keep going here. Got that. The gliding in this game is extremely technical, but I don't really have time to go into this because like how frantic everything is in World 1. But like it can hold to the right, and you're just gonna like gain a lot of speed really rapidly. That's basically what goes on. And this game actually features a lot of different Kirby music from like the last 25 years of its history. Though this was released about a year ago, it still has a lot of like retro callbacks and stuff, and it's pretty great. It's a great soundtrack.
Not to mention a lot of really great original songs too as well.
I'll just walk. And we're gonna go up here. And we have a third mid-boss, which we're gonna go ahead and wait till his health bar spawns on screen. When the health bar gets about halfway on screen, that's when you can use this move, Meta Nightmares, and just completely wipe out this boss. That also freezes the in-game timer, which like normally if you like were to fight this boss, it would just like you'd have to like just dive into him a few times and that would be that. But since that's an option and that's preferred, we just do it. End of these sections, you get about 12 points. Yep, Meta Knight's face sometimes like does that too. You have to hold down in order to like prevent your face from bonking on things.
So now we're going to go into the first boss, and in true Kirby fashion, this has to be, of course, a woods boss.
And skip the cutscene. Start with a combo, shuttle loop into up stab into down stab. Meta Knight has a lot of moves that just naturally combo into this game, like shuttle loop into up stab into down stab, wing flaps, shuttle loops, all sorts of crazy stuff. So I should have charged up a beam here just for timing, but oh well, we'll do that now. So that was just mostly for timing. I would have a beam charged up, and that beam is really helpful for saving time elsewhere. But what we're doing is we're timing out a Meta Nightmares, so it'll reduce them to 1 health instead of a quarter, which can happen sometimes. Now Clanky's going to enter phase 3 with 1 health.
Unfortunately, can't take him out during phase 2 there, even though you have enough like damage to be able to do so.
Now we're going to fly to the right, and we'll be on top of the stage. Nope, just kidding. It actually is a glitch, though. I just didn't get it. It doesn't actually affect the fight in any way. It's just cosmetic. Under 5 minutes for this fight is pretty good. Could be a little bit better, though. And that's level 1. This game has a really nice feature of in-game splits and in-game sum of best. So that is really cool for like people that don't know what speedrunning is and kind of want to get into this. This is how you're going to see it first off. There's also a save room in between each section.
This remix is amazing, by the way.
And we're moving on to level 2 here, Resolution Road.
Yeah, shoutouts to Kirby Superstar.
The correct superstar in particular in this case.
And we're just going to go ahead and get as many points as we can from these enemies here. There's one thing I got to explain real quick. It's just coming up, though. So I think we can get a donation here. That's fine.
No problem. We have a $15 donation from Yummy Kirby that says, first time donating, had to donate during the Kirby block. Gotta love the cute pink puffball.
Awesome.
Also, can I get a Hoya from my favorite announcer? Donation goes to announcer's choice.
All right, so we did a shuttle loop on that enemy right there, which gave us all the points we need. And now we're going to start falling fast, and to do that, we'll just use Meta Knight's down stab. Gets to the ground real quick. There's also a fast fall in this game you can do by double tapping, but it's not as fast in that situation. And then now we're going to fight Telepithos 2.0 and see our other special move, Galaxia's Darkness. Do an escape over his shoulder like Brawl, and does a little bit less damage than the other move, but still pretty effective. And we'll just keep going here.
This is actually like one of my new favorite songs from the Kirby series.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
Same
song.
here. That and casino level, you'll see later.
And just repeat a couple of shuttle loops. You don't want to like do a shuttle loop for a long time because then it slows down. You get a burst of speed from it, but what you want to do is like kind of chain them back to back. Unless you go a super long distance, then you want to actually like go for the long one because that one speeds up. Kind of weird how that works, but that's what happens. We can fit another donation in here, I suppose.
No problem. We have a $50 donation from Dan129 that says, so excited to watch the Kirby Planet Robobot run.
Awesome. So our next mid-boss up we're going to defeat is Miasmoros, and much the same way as we've been defeating the other bosses, just a Meta Nightmares to call in all of our dudes. Okay, one more donation.
No problem. We have a $15 donation from Chan that says, always great to see the Kirby block. What a great time for Kirby. New games coming out in the next year, and it's Kirby's 25th anniversary. Keep up the great work.
Thank you very much for the donation. Alright, we got another puzzle section. We're going to fail here and get a fake chest. This has absolutely nothing in it. There's a little shock sound effect too. It's neat. Oh, missed input. I actually mainly use the circle pad for like inputs in this game, but you can actually use D-pad as well. I just find circle pad easier. But there are places that D-pad is going to be helpful. Oops. Alright, so we're coming up on the casino level, which is a really cool and flashy stage. I really like it. Some nice technical movement to it too. Oops. If you hit an enemy with your sword like that, Meta Knight's just going to bounce off. We're going to shuttle loop that enemy right there, so those swinging enemies will end up in our shuttle loop damaging attack. I don't even know. I'm just too good at this game. Just going to keep going here, and we're going to come up to our first dice section. Now, with the dice, they actually changed this from Kirby's mode. Meta Knight's points actually are factors, so what we have to do is when you hit a dice block, if it's like a 5 or a 2 or a 3, you're going to have points based on the face value of the die. Unless it's a 1, then you get a 1-up, which isn't really useful for the run. It's not random what the dice say on the face, like, it's the same every time. But, like, they, like, rotate around, so you have to hit them in a certain way. And now we have the first roulette table section. We're going to charge up our sword beam, do an upstabbed. And there we go.
Nice.
We're kind of low on points here, so we'll just get these next two enemies. And another boss we will Meta Nightmares.
I love animation so much.
I love how the side enemies get their time to shine.
Alright, now we got a cannon, but those are slow, so Meta Knight's just going to do what he does best and skip it.
The thing you might notice Guest doing a couple of times is whenever he's doing a shuttle loop, he redoes it to get a little bit of an extra boost.
And this is Car Room, which is very difficult if you're trying to like get record times in this. I'm going to take it a little bit slow in order to just go marathon safe. But these cars are like on set patterns when you reach certain parts of the screen. So what we want to do is do similar movement to what I'm doing here to just make sure that we don't get hit at all. If you get hit into the background with Meta Quick, that means you're pretty much losing double the time you would be without. Time loss compounds in this game like that. That's good. Gonna wait to go in that door. Now we need about 33 points before we leave this area, otherwise we won't be able to do a quick kill on the following boss. Yep. And we'll just jump here, shuttle lift the Waddle Dee. I'm gonna have 34 just for safety. 35. And we have cannons.
Or do our best reenactment of Donkey Kong.
And now we have Dubiors, which has a little bit more health than your traditional hit mid-boss, so we have to do a Meta Nightmares and then a shuttle loop afterwards to defeat him. Not too much difficult. That's pretty much going to wrap up level 2 besides the bosses. We got our points to collect, and the next boss is going to be a callback to Kirby 64. However, it's a 2.0 version, so it's going to look a little bit different. Meta Knight gets bosses that are 2.0 versions in this mode, which are slightly harder than Kirby's variants, but Meta Knight's just so overpowered that he just makes quick work of most of them. And this boss is going to summon a bunch of retro Kirby bosses, so here's Kreko. And we're going to shuttle loop and down stab. And throw the beam. There we go. That was a good fight. And next we have Spear Doomers from Return to Dreamland. And that was Spear Doomers from Return to Dreamland. Next up is Ice Dragon from KDL 2, which we just saw. And we'll just be face diving into him. There we go. Just have to wait here. And finally, Coily Rattler from Triple Deluxe. And we will Meta Nightmares this boss. Now this Hollow Defense API actually has one more trick up its sleeve. It's going to start zipping around all over the place, but we can actually hit the boss when it's underneath the screen, but it's random. We'll see if we get it. We got it. Nice.
Nice.
So as the boss is moving towards the screen when he's underneath, you can actually hit him with the sword as it's spinning. That wraps up level 2. Next level we have to do is Overload Ocean, which is part water level, part above ground, and has another scroller to it. But what we got to do first here is in the next room get every enemy out of the way, so we have at least enough points to defeat the following mid-boss, Balaki. That's good. Oh, I almost missed that. Nice. There he is, and there he goes. And Meta Quick right as we get that 5 points from him, and we'll just skip over first cannon. Now we're going to glide down here.
We have a $20 donation from My Bear Shibber saying that, hey guests, missed the Strider run due to the time difference. Smash that run, so smash the Kirby run.
Awesome, thanks dude. And we're going to reverse our direction with a sword. That actually allows me to get to the ground faster too, like doing a sword swing in the air. Like allows me to like control my momentum really well. And now we're coming up to that auto scroller here, so now is a great time for any and all donations we have up to this point.
No problem. We have a $10 donation from Matt Mitchell that says, great to see a speed run of this pretty new Kirby game with Edo on commentary and great causes all around. $15 from Idiot Slayer that says, I never missed the Kirby block. Thanks to the entertainment, guys. Donation to Reader's Choice. P.S. Hoya!
So if you get that star back there, it's actually going to take you to another part of the level, and we don't want that, so we're going to keep going to the right. And we have yet another puzzle room. As fast as I just charge the beam and walk up to it.
Don't you just love auto-scrollers?
Yeah. Shuttle looping into the water in this case is actually slightly faster than just jumping into it. You get a little more upward momentum. So for this part of the auto-scroller, what we'll have to do is just get the star as soon as it appears on screen, and then shuttle loop to the other side after hitting a switch.
We have a $50 donation from Dwesk. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably butchered it. I'm sorry. First time watching the event live. Thoroughly enjoying all the runs so far, and for such a good cause to boot. Donation to Announcer's Choice.
There we go. We hit the switch off screen there with a part of the sword beam, which will allow us to get 8 points at the end. And now we're coming up on some dangerous dessert. So we're going to start off with a meta quick and try to loop right in that corner up there. And like I said, the Night Sword turns fire into ice. I have no idea how that works. These ice cream cones in the background will hit you and flatten you, so you got to be careful of those. And I'm just going to dash attack up here. Oh, we didn't hit that enemy in the right way, but that's fine. Sometimes you're going to get the button before you actually do the move, and that just means your timing was off. That's fine.
This food section is my favorite.
It's
I
pretty
just
good.
love the premise of it. You're just flying on popsicles the entire time, your ice is hitting you. It's so good.
So yeah, we have an excess of points at this point, pun intended. And we are just going to keep going. We can't really like get any more speed with Metaquick, and we just get to keep going here. But, like I said with points earlier, with the doors, they take a little bit to fly to you, so we can just kind of attack, use the Metaquick, and like not have the points like get to us too early. We should be fine though. And we are wrapping up with that frozen level. 51's an okay time there. I've done better. But now we're getting to the underwater part of Overload Ocean, and for this, I like to use D-pad because like door movement with circle pad is not the best thing in the world in this game.
I honestly prefer D-pad in general, but
Yeah,
Same
some
here.
people have different preferences for that. Like you could just like double tap and then press B for dash attacks, or you can circle pad, single tap, and then press B. It's nice that the game has like control options like that.
so these sharks moving around will also push you in or out of the screen, so you need to be careful of those.
You can also just mashing A to go faster here. Meta has a sword underwater as well. You can break that peg. There's a bunkers to the right there that I hear a lot of newer players always think they have to beat, but not required for Meta Knight's mode.
We have a $10 donation from Genie Mirage X that says, had to donate during my favorite video game series block. And for a chance to win those adorable prizes, count me in. Love the guest, love Edo Bean, love Kirby, love Robobot, love these runs, love GDQ. Keep it up, everyone.
Alright, so we're coming to the end of this section. Just a little pause when we get to breeze past here. Alright, so this room, we have cannons that shoot you out depending on how you tilt the 3DS, but I have no idea why anyone would want to do that first, because it's slower, and second, tilting GameCubes is much better. If anyone doesn't get that reference, I did Tilt and Tumble for AGDQ 2017 just about 6 months ago, and it was great.
It was pretty good.
Those tilt mechanics, though, they just follow me around to every game I go to. I have no idea how to escape them. So anyway, it's important that we have about 50 points by the end of this section in order to start running through some fish pretty quickly. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Just gotta fly up here first. Meta Knight's wings, they actually don't go too much faster depending on how fast you mash. There's like a cap to it. In Meta Nightmare Ultra, the prequel to this game, the SS3N series, like I might have mentioned in the interview, that game actually does have like wing mashing that you could go faster with. Doesn't matter too much in this one though. Yeah, we're outrunning some fish now. We gotta like start going fast. There's two ways you can like easily dodge these fish. One of which is swinging your sword so that it shrinks down your hitbox. The other of which is taking damage so they can't do that, which is what we're gonna do right here. I wouldn't be knocked into the background if I'm already having invincibility frames. So there's a Waddle Dee. Bye, buddy.
I'll miss him.
You get these points. This can be harder than it looks sometimes. Oh, that was bad. Oh well. Alright, next boss we're coming up on is Hallman's executive assistant, Susie. And we're going to deal with her in a very specific way, much like the other bosses. We're going to start by doing a condor dive and then about 5 shuttle loops with invincibility frames. There we go. And now if you take a look at our point counter, we have 33 points here, just 2 off from the Nightmares. Suzu's going to spin and call up some robots, and what we're going to do is defeat one of them and then hit him into Nightmares after a sword beam as well. Gotta get that extra damage. Oh, shoot. I technically didn't need to do that, but it's nice to have a little more damage. There we go. It also defeats enemies anywhere else on the screen, foreground or background, so got 6 points from that as well. And a dash attack will finish her off.
Unfortunately, no matter what you do, you cannot finish a boss off before the last phase appears on it. You can, however, damage bosses in between phases, but it'll do a lot less damage than like during the phase, for instance. It's also taking triple lugs too.
Next level is going to be Gigabyte Ground, which at the start is a very long, dry, boring desert, so another perfect time for donations here.
No problem. We have a $5 donation from Sadu that says, I got home just in time to catch some Kirby action, and even happier that Edo Bean's reprising her role as Kirby announcer. I just beat Kirby Planet Robobot this morning and started on Meta Nightmare Returns, so this run ought to help me with clearing it.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
To make it worth her effort, until the end of Kirby Planet Robobot, I'll make another donation for every comment she reads that includes a Puyo, including this one at the end of the run. Good luck.
Yeah, this game we're pretty passionate about. Like on the speedrun.com leaderboards, we love getting like new runners in for this one. If your time is not like top 5 or anything like seriously awesome, you can like submit a photo of your run and we'll accept that just fine.
Oh, the in-game timer, by the way.
Just gonna do this. Nice.
We got a $2,500 donation.
Whoa.
Wow.
From TailsFox88 saying, curse work meetings. They made me miss most of the Kirby blog. Still, glad I could make it in time to see at least some destruction of one of my favorite franchises. Keep up the great job, runners. Put this money towards Announcer's Choice. Booyah!
All right, so these bombers die to 1 wing flap of Meta Knight. Yes, when Meta Knight's wings do damage. And we are really low on points here. We did not get too many enemies before, so we're going to be skipping a Meta Quick at this section. All right, coming up in the next room, if you don't like to see Waddle Dee violence, I recommend you look away now because we're going to be defeating some respawning Waddle Dees for points here.
Not to Waddle Dees.
Yes, Waddle Dees.
The poor Waddle Dees.
They did nothing wrong.
When's my side adventure game of Bandana Waddle Dee? I need that.
Nintendo,
Agreed.
please.
Please, Nintendo.
Please.
Oh dear, missed the pipe. That pipe can be kind of tricky to get to if you're not like right next to it and do a full jump. Like if you're just going into wing flaps or anything, you're gonna have problems with that pipe. All you gotta do is like a full jump from the ground though. Kind of behind on the Meta Quick route, but we'll see what we can do to make up for that. These conveyor belts actually move you faster than shuttle looping or dash attacking, so we're going to use them. Well, at least for the first part here, we get to like do a good dash attack on one right there. And next we have a kind of difficult quick kill boss setup on Dubior's number 2. We only have Galaxia's Darkness, so we have to do 4 shuttle loops through a sword beam, and then hope this one defeats it. Nope. So we're going to throw that. And that's fine. If you're too late for that one, you're gonna get hit by. You're gonna hit Dubior's shield, and Dubior's shield just deflects like nearly all damage that you deal to it for a little bit. It just wastes time. Now we're gonna carry our Meta Quick in this section through the room and just get some enemies out of the way with that. Meta Quick doesn't actually like stay on for that. It lasts about 10 seconds. It doesn't stay on while the timer is paused. And now we actually need a lot of points for the following sections here, so we just have to shuttle loop this Telepithos until it's defeated. And now we have a section with a Game Boy Kirby robot here. And we're done. It's another puzzle section. We don't really need to use that at all. These hammers, like the fish before and cars, will hit you into the background, and we don't want that to happen, so we gotta proceed through this room at a set rate. There we go. Did a little spin right before I entered the door there. That's a great setup. After you do a dive into an enemy, then you can just do a spin, and that will just like set you up so like you'll always get the points and not like leave any behind. Anyway, this section is some of my favorite music of the game, the Paint-to-Rula music. And we're gonna defeat this mummy a few times for more points while the background does a Rube Goldberg machine thing. Yep, one extra.
We have a $15 donation from Rambon that says, Kirby is one of my favorite game series, so I couldn't watch this Kirby block without donating. Playos to everyone. Also, save the animals, because they're cute, like Kirby.
Alright, so this section we're going to try a shuttle loop and fly for a little bit. This is great. I love that strat.
That's really cool looking.
That was really smooth. Alright, we won't be using a Metaquick in this room. We'll just be going through it as normal. It's just got a couple of local timers and auto-scrollers in the form of these pillars. We will, however, be using it in this room.
We have a $150 donation from Lazzy saying, had to donate during Kirby block because, come on, who doesn't like Kirby? Super tough pink puff makes any day bright. Booyah!
Kirby is cute.
Yes.
Super cute.
True fact.
So that was an updraft. Let's our shuttle loops go a little bit farther. And we have another blocky to defeat with Meta Nightmares once again.
We have a $50 donation from Sir Cheeks-a-Lot that says, glad to finally be able to donate and on the Kirby block, my favorite series of all time. Keep up the good work.
So, this boss is going to be a familiar boss, but not really. Midnight's fought himself in Nightmare in Dreamland in 2002. He's taken down his own ship in 2008, but now he's just going to fight a stock version of himself. Not too exciting, but yeah, well. So, stock Meta Knight you can deal with quickly by just taking damage on him and just using the invincibility frames. And sometimes he just blocks because he's Meta Knight and all. He also has a move where he can like do a sweeping combo on you that wastes a bunch of time, and we don't want that to happen. But now he's growing a tail, and what we're going to do is just continue shuttle looping him. 2 more times. Up. And that's kind of slow. It's fine. And it's not even enough damage, huh? So we'll just do a shuttle loop immediately. Oh, we almost got to do his charge attack.
Of course, I don't really know. Ghost Midnight Returns is basically going through playthrough of this game's story mode of Kirby, but it uses Midnight instead. So in this case, Mecha Knight was supposed to be Meta Knight in Kirby's mode, but since you can't have Midnight fight Meta Knights, fight Mecha Knight instead.
But like I said, he fought himself in 2002 in Nightmare in Dreamland.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway, this is Rhythm Route. It has some great music. I'll just let you folks chill out to that. Not too much going on in the first part.
We have a $25 donation from CMM 1215 that says, hey guest, CMM here. Happy to see Robobot make it in after all the work you've put into it. Best of luck on your run. You're going to do great. Booyah!
Yes, thanks, CM. Alright, so we got another mid-boss here, and we're just going to feed him pretty much the same way we have been. My cue for this area is, like, if I get a 44 coming out of here, we got a decent run. Otherwise, I'll just have to make a couple of adjustments. A little bit slow, that's fine. Going up here. These note blocks, by the way, they'll put you into the background, much like the other obstacles we've been seeing. 20 points by here is a pretty good indicator. So these turtles, and if you hit them with the Galaxia's Darkness, fun fact, they will just like freak out and they'll drop the Warp Star that Kirby can take. It's not really useful for Meta Knight though, just a like fun fact. Anyway, if we have 20 points by this section, wait at the door. Now we're able to defeat every enemy in the following room, and we'll have enough points for like an extra Meta Quick.
That's more awesome to see the music.
That was slow though. Yep, more awesome music. Oh, that's bad. That enemy just blew itself up and just robbed me of points. So now we're actually fighting this one. So this block, he can make himself invincible, but we can beat that invincibility with the Galaxia's Darkness.
Nice
Which we
back
didn't
up.
really have to worry about anyway. Now we have point access though, so we're kind of set for that for a while.
Makes life easy.
Yep. We got giant billiards here. And now if you dash attack at the very beginning of this room for 3 frames or so, didn't get it. It's kind of a tight window. You can actually get that dice and get a 3. So do something clever there, see if it pays off. We're very much off the Meta Quick route at this point. Oh, that was bad. Should be back on it by the end of this section, though.
We have a $50 donation from Mr. Darks that says, to all runners, you're doing great and thank you for everything you do. To the announcer, you're awesome. Aw, thank you.
So that was kind of bad. We'll just have to wait for the ball to explode there. And now we're going to shuttle loop through these giant billiards. And now we're back on the route. That's good. So there's a warp star right here, and we're going to take it. It'll freeze the in-game timer and bring us to the top of tower number 5. And we got our disco DDR room here. Don't step on these red panels, otherwise they'll do damage to you. Pretty simple.
It sounds also really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
From Kirby's Dream On 2, actually, to be.
Really?
Yeah, that's the Dark Castle music. We just didn't get to hear it much because he had a Kuarkain with him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That guy right there, that's fine. Very good with dodging the last one there. Next up we have a train, and this train is part auto-scroller, part non-auto-scroller. We can make this interesting somehow, right? Maybe?
Aren't auto-scrollers always interesting?
I quite enjoy going to speed limit with the game.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're in the background, it's going to auto-scroll. Whenever you're in the foreground, it's going to go at normal speed. Oh, that was kind of a bad door. And these little magic boxes take you between those 2 levels.
We have a $150 donation from Cindercroft that says, what exactly is Kirby? I'm going to need some lore.
It's simple. Kirby is cute.
Yes.
Anyway, this is Bonkers, and there goes Bonkers. Bonkers can be problematic, but we'll deal with him in about 25 minutes. Alright, so this room we're going to charge our sword beam, do a shuttle loop, go to the right side of this box, we're going to do a trick. So we're going to hit switch from the opposite side. The screen's going to scroll to the right while we're doing so, though. And we got it. That's simple. So this section, we have a bunch of note blocks that hit into the background, but if you slide and then start flying, you won't get hit by any of them.
Ooh, shoutouts to Kirby's Dream Course credits theme.
And now we have a very long, boring auto-scroller fit for donations, and my Meta Knight combo video I have to make up on the spot here.
No problem. We have a $10 donation from GhostKid825 that says, I love Kirby Planet Robobot, and I love Edovine's Kirby voice. Let's make the other person's donation at the end of this game even stronger with another Puyo! Thank you, Mumbling, for your $20 donation that says, so glad I was able to catch this Kirby block. Kirby's been around for so long, and it still has such amazing games. Thank you for showing off the latest one. Puyo! Doing a lot of these. I'm so sorry.
Hope you're not getting too tired over there.
I can do one if you want me to.
Alrighty then. We have a $10 donation from Anonymous that says, hi guests, way to use my RNG strats to kill holo defense. Shoutouts to all of the other Kirby runners here. Keep calm and... There you go.
And now we have the best room in the game here.
So fast.
That last donation, by the way, I feel like may have been Chooch236. Thank you for that donation, my friend. This community for Robobot has been very large since day one. It's kind of staggered off, but we're all still around, still having fun with video games.
Video games are pretty cool.
Yes. Also, there's a cat driving that train. Anyway, our next boss up is a very familiar Kirby boss. You might say he's a delight to fight.
I can't wait for you to destruct this boss.
And we have
Another
DDD
okay.
clone here. This is a clone version of King DDD. And we're just going to do that, dive in, and should look a few times in the corner. That should be that. There we go. And now King DDD is going to split into 3 DDDs, which will attack us. And just keep diving in here. And you have to defeat each of these 3 DDDs 3 times in order to go to the next phase, so we'll do so swiftly. Really good RNG for boss fight so far. So now the 3 DDDs will get in the D3 cannon. And what we're going to do is hit them at a nightmares while the boss bar is filling up, and that'll hit the boss in the background.
If you have Frick Vazy, if you forget spam D3, by the way.
Yep.
Please don't.
No.
And now we're going to try to knock both bombs back separately. And we're going to do so by comboing some moves here. There we go. That was an awesome fight.
Nice.
Nice.
Not over yet, folks. Enjoy the fireworks.
Happy 4th of July.
It's the 5th.
It's the 5th.
Woo! All right, now we're going to be moving on to level 6. And level 6 is about 20 minutes real time, 14 in-game time. It's got all the EX stages that Kirby would play through for bonuses, and it's got a ton of auto-scrollers, tons of fun stuff for us. It's actually a really long level in the game. It's partially the reason why it's just kind of so hard to optimize at some points, because there's a lot of just waiting around at this section, and good movement is required and whatnot. There's an unskippable cutscene right after the 3rd star here. We have time for a quick donation.
We have a $50 donation from Dina B that says, Kirby is shaped like a friend. Hearing Cavasker songs included in Robobot makes me want to play it even more. Puyo!
If you ever play this game, I highly recommend it. It's at this point one of my favorite Kirby games.
Indeed.
Yeah, the music is amazing. The actual plot and everything like that is really, really good in this. And the powers and everything to do with it are amazing too. Not to mention this mode, of course, as well too.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely brings a lot of fan service
Yep.
in this game. A
You can say
lot
that
more.
again.
And now we're going to fly in some bombers here and get a ton of points from oops. So that's what happens if you fail to defeat a couple of them. Just going to defeat that one. And next we have a new type of boss, Security Force, which breaks all the rules of the mid-bosses we've had before. And once you just see the health bar start growing on it, you can attack it. But it has the self-destruct mode, which we're going to defeat with a shuttle loop, 2 parts of a spin slash, and a condor dive in opposite order. Get in there, thank you. And we're not going to meta-quick quite yet because we have Candy coming up. And our points are actually kind of tight. So what we need to do is kind of conserve them for a small amount of time. And next we have the double hit trick. So we're going to do a jump stab. Oh, yep, got it. Okay, we're good.
Nice.
So normally when you hit a boss with Candy, what the boss does is recoils for about a second, then the boss gets hit again. But if you do it like a down stab at a certain time, then you're going to just skip all those hits. $50 points here is important. Otherwise we'd have to do backup strats. Might be a little more health than I'd like. I have to do an extra shuttle loop. Yep, that's fine. Alright, that was a really quick activation of the auto scroller there. So, we have a lot of auto scrollers ahead of us at this point. So I can go over the history of the records with this game, and that is something that I'd like to do, but I'd like to get to donations before that. Let's get everything else we have out of the way here. So if we have any more, feel free to read them, Ito.
No problem. I'm going to go ahead and say a $50 donation from Anonymous that says, I had to donate again because who doesn't love Kirby? Donation goes to announcer's choice as long as it isn't save or kill the animals. Aw. But I like to choose. We have a $50 donation from Million Sandwiches 11 that says, thanks for such a positive and fun run with our good Dreamland pals. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes, and best of luck. Every Day I'm Shoveling donates $50. That's a great
It's a really
name.
good name.
I guess I'll be making my donation this year during the Kirby block. Money goes to Edo-chan's choice if she can give us her manliest pollo.
Pollo.
The best I could do.
That was a valiant attempt.
Pollo. Pollo. Pollo.
Pollo.
Pollo.
So we had just enough points to do a Meta Nightmares there based on the fact that we had to do some pretty quick movement in the room before that. It would give us 36, which is right on target. Oh, we're a little low on health for this part. Interesting. Meta Knight usually has a lot of health for this mode, but I guess I'm getting a little bit lazy here. I have to keep note of that.
If he needs to, he does have the healing power as well on bottom screen.
I will not be using that, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's dashed honor right there.
Yeah.
Exactly. It also messed up the point right I was going for too.
Yep.
These parts here are just basically many scrollers. If you go over the red parts, it will just destroy it. Of course, if Kirby is you want to pick up the battery there in order to unlock a secret area and get a code cube, but since we're Meta Knight, you're not going to be doing that.
One more of these. Then we have another auto scroller here. And there's the door right behind us, as you can see. Look at that. It's so close, but so far. We have to go all the way to the right and then all the way to the left and get a few points along the way. I suppose I'll go over the record history for this game. So the world record as of now stands at a 44:30. I unfortunately did end up getting a 16 in-game time offline at SGDQ prior to this run. So there is a lot more time to save with this game. My sum of best is a 43.59, however, so I'm really glad I actually got to push it to a 43. But like the community for this game is great. Morbid Pyro was one of the first people that ended up finding some of my runs on YouTube and like how fast I could actually do this game, since I'm like a series runner of Meta Nightmare, Meta Nightmare Ultra, and Returns. And he was one of the first people to find me and say, hey, you can actually make this game much faster if you do these techniques. And I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. He actually had no interaction with speedrunning prior to this. So what we kind of agreed upon doing was like having him record a run of this game at Smash the Record back in 2016. So that's what we did. And he held that for a little while. Fast forward in time a little bit, Kurohito 2 in Japan. The Japanese Meta Nightmare community is kind of disconnected from the US one, unfortunately. And we'd love to get more communication abroad, though. Love to like bring in more runners if we could. But Kurohito 2 set up kind of a tutorial video of sorts for people looking to like get into like going really fast in Meta Knight mode of Robobot. Oh, that's about points. So we would normally want to get that Rocky, but I just did some silly movement there. But Kurohito 2 held it at a 45.48 for a little while, but I pushed it down to the 44.30 that it is right now. The 44.16 that I have before, unfortunately, was not recorded, so that's why it doesn't really count. World record times do need to have recordings for our game. So now we're in cyberspace, and we're just going to keep flying here. Since I'm low on... Oh, that's a combo. Okay. This is scary. This is
careful
actually,
about your health, by the way.
Yeah, this is very scary. I think I'm going to be fine. There's like one trouble spot, I think. I don't know if I should have done that meta quick. Yeah. We're just going to skip the next one. That never happened before.
Hey.
So we are behind on points quite a bit. As long as I'm careful on this next boss, we should be fine, though. Oh. Hate to see that kind of thing happen.
Luckily, this game is a little bit more lenient than Meta Nightmare Ultra, where you actually lose all of your points when you die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, not quite. Got caught in the lip there. This game is actually very technical, despite how easy I sometimes make it look. Oh, dear. So now we're coming up on the EX stages of the game, and it's also going to have a bunch of different boss refights as well.
Normally the stages are unlocked by getting all the code cubes in in the world stash, and that'll unlock it. Like during Kirby's phase, of course. But this is midnight, so this is automatic unlock. Let me just go straight here.
Yep.
We have a $15 donation from Bob Chow 87 that says, "Gotta go for these Boyolicious prizes and donate for one of my favorite game series. I didn't know about Meta Nightmare Returns until today, and now I'm psyched to finish Robobot myself and play this awesome mode."
Alright, so the next couple of bosses will be just refights, but we'll be using Galaxia's Darkness on both of them.
We have a $10 donation from Anonymous that says, "Long-time watcher, first-time donator. Really cool to watch the knight himself blow through levels like, dare I say, a tornado. Donation goes to saving the animals because we would save the Dreamland animals if they were in the same predicament. P.S. What is the announcer's favorite power? Mine has to be ESP. Pique Pollo! That's actually probably one of my favorite ones now because it just is so broken.
It really is.
It really is. It's like a great power to beat true arena mode if you're having difficulty with that.
My favorite's always been Kirby, personally. It hasn't really changed throughout all the games.
Nice.
That's going to wrap up all the Hollow Defense API bosses. And now we're going to move on to the EX stages right after one more little scene. You don't want to jump into this cannon, by the way. It wastes like 15 seconds, so we're just going to fly around it.
I saw that from Air right here. Immediately recognize that one. That snow is so tense in the background. It's such a weird aesthetic at first level.
We have a $150 donation from Shannon203 that says, I really love what y'all doing here. Kirby was my buddy when SNES was first a thing, and I'm also looking forward to the Mega Man block. Keep up the great runs.
So we have to get a J2 capsule defeated here, and we'll just run along some ice and keep going.
We have a $10 donation from the Pokey that says, my first donation of this event during the cutest block of them all. Awesome work, everyone. Love from Late Night Sweden. The cutest voice of them all chooses the destination of this donation.
I wonder who that might be.
It's me.
Definitely not me. We have a $50 donation from Anonymous that says, haven't played a Kirby game in ages, but I'm loving everything about this run. Great cause, great run, and great announcing. Loving the Poyos, but can I get a hi? Hi!
Oh.
Alright, so we're going to skip a couple of those green dudes here. And just keep going. This is another auto-scroller still. Even in the EXs. Oh.
Shoutouts to the original Meta Knight music here.
Yep.
And Kirby Superstar is one of my favorites.
The OG theme. Gotta love it.
Sorry, I just had to hear it for a bit because it just was nostalgia hit me. We have a we have a $30 donation from Oshanity239 that says, "What is Kirby's favorite puzzle game?" Puyo Pop. Great job to all the runners. Donation goes to announcer's choice.
So we're just going to be going through this for about 20 seconds more, defeating some enemies along the way. And then we're going to be fighting 3 more bosses before the last 3 more bosses. Oh, I do have to watch out for that. Alright, here we go. Now there's some points in the background that we're always going to skip here. They're not fast to get at all. First up we have Miasmeros with a lot of health. And we're going to do the following. Counter dive, spin, shuttle loop to defeat him. Next we have to fight Bonkers. And like I said, Bonkers can actually be a little problematic if you're not thinking about it. So what we gotta do is... Oh, this might be a problem. Oh, let's see. Good.
Nice.
So yeah, Bonkers can do a tornado hammer that'll just knock you into the background, and it'll just waste a ton of time. We don't want that to happen. And we're coming up on another refight here. I lied. This game like has endless amounts of bosses. It's like, oh, you defeated the last one. Oh, you defeated the last one. No, this is the last. No, this is the last one. Pretty much. And Clanky Woods refight.
We have a $50 donation from Chin Chill that says, hey everyone, second time donating, long time watching. Love everything you guys do, from the runners to the announcers to the behind the scene folks. Shout outs to my friend Duke Block, who introduced me to this wonderful event and who is actually a fan of the lovely Poyoline announcer.
All right, so we have 24 points here. We'd like to get 28 before we get to the final bosses. However, that's not possible. However, we can get some points from Susie Bots in Phase 3 of the final boss here, so we'll be doing so. Also, this is a cutscene that if we do not skip, we'll save in-game time, so I get a small break here.
I always thought it was weird the way you enter that particular door and it just goes slant. We have a $50 donation from Tarlantos that just says, let's do this. We also have a $15 donation from Ethan193 that says, hey y'all, I'm enjoying watching GDQ this year and I love seeing all of my favorite Nintendo games converted into full-fledged speed games. I thought Meta Knight was only broken in Brawl. Thank you runners and staff for this awesome event. Poyo!
All right, last three bosses here. And we have, first up, President Haltman. So Haltman usually jumps to the left. I've only seen him jump to the right like a couple of times. If you make the first move, he sometimes does. Wait for those Susie Bots to rise up and then hit Meta Nightmares. And that will give us 12 points as well as kick him into the second phase here. So with the second phase, what he's going to do is just make himself really impervious to a lot of damage, and he's going to summon this big, tanky robot. He's also going to rotate the screen, which we got to be quite aware of. That's it. So now we have Phase 3, where he makes it rain with Susie Bots and the money from all the donations we've been raising so far.
There it is. Make it rain.
The little bills have Susie Bots on it.
Yes,
Yep.
they do.
It's so good.
All right, Galaxia's Darkness and a Shuttle Loop will be it. Oh, need a little more. There we go. So that's Haltman. That's just one of three. Now the other two are not going to be Stardream. Kirby would fight Stardream at this point, but there's an introduction for some of the strongest sword warriors in the galaxy here. We have to skip that, unfortunately, due to time constraints and for the speedrun sake. But they really are awesome. Beat this game mode if you're interested in seeing them. First up is Dark Matter from KDL 2. Very familiar boss. Did not get to do the Rainbow Sword attack. That's good. Phase 2. Oop, missed the shuttle loop there. There we go. That's Dark Matter.
Once again, this game has a lot of fan service, and I love it.
It's so good. Seriously, I haven't played this game before. Definitely go and try and buy it. It's really, really, really good.
Definitely. Next up is Queen Sectonia, final boss of Trip Deluxe. Oh, we missed that. We'll see if we can make it up, though. Oh, not quite. So she'll just skim the top of the screen here, and we'll shuttle loop, and that'll put her in phase 2.
This tech is beautiful right here.
Yeah, I absolutely
She always sneaks up
love
behind
it.
you. Oh, I was going for the risky one there just once. Oh, twice. Oh, come on.
Her laugh is so great. Fun fact, for those who don't know, the Japanese voice actress that voices her actually voices Kirby.
Aw.
So
That's
it's
cute.
kind of interesting.
But that would be Sectonia. And the final boss of the game is Meta Knight's eternal universal rival, and that would be Galactonite. And Galactonite's the worst boss in the game. He has a ton of RNG moves. He can block your attacks at random. He can just fly away from the screen, just cost you time at random. So what we're going to do is just like constantly spam invincibility frames on him and just try to get past this. Yep, so he just moved to the other side of the screen. And that phase is done. That's the hard one. Now we're going to go into phase 2 with awesome music, and we're going to hit Meta Nightmares immediately.
Like this game kind of reminds me of Meta in the other games, where he always flies away and tries to like evade your attacks and stuff too. It's kind of luck-based as well.
So we use Meta Nightmares there and not at the RNG part because he can summon a giant pink space hole that takes up about 15 seconds otherwise, so we don't want that to happen at all. That was not the best fight in the world, but I will take it. So I'm going to give my shout-outs here. Run's pretty much over, but we call time on the final in-game time screen. Shout-outs to the Kirby community, speedrunning community, and casual community. You guys are great. Shout-outs to Kirby Volt back there for all these wonderful plushies we've had for these runs. They've been adorable. Shout-outs to Morbid Pyro, so many other people who have been like in the Kirby speedrunning community, Meta Knight community. It's like awesome that you folks have all helped me to get to this point. Shout-outs to speedrunners in general. Shout-outs to the tech crew behind the scenes, SGDQ. You're all great. And time is coming up now.
Time was 1:06:26.
That's your typical time for clearing out Meta Nightmare Returns RTA. Again, we use in-game time, and the in-game splits are absolutely wonderful, and we will accept a photo of this unless it's like top 5 times. In that case, you would want to contact me because I want to get better at this game and use your strats. No, I'm just kidding. We could arrange something, though. We'll figure something out. But yeah, that's a pretty good time for a marathon. I will take that.